Knowing or getting certified in just one cloud provider is not enough these days. Look, there's various reasons for that. Firstly, by just sticking to one cloud provider, you're limiting yourself to the number of opportunities out there. Because based on what I've seen out there, a lot of companies are either migrating from one cloud provider to the next. I've seen companies moving from Azure to AWS, some companies moving from AWS to Azure, or even some moving from Google to all the different platforms. So it's really hard to say what your company or the company you're working for, what cloud provider they might be shifting towards. So by you just getting certified or getting too familiar with one cloud provider, you are essentially putting yourself at risk. Look, at the end of the day, you are a cloud professional and you need to understand that knowing all these different cloud providers is very important. Don't become, you're not an AWS cloud sort of practitioner, you're not an Azure cloud practitioner. You are a cloud professional. Fundamentally, you should have a good understanding of what is cloud computing and understand what tools each of these different cloud providers use to solve for that particular cloud computing problem, because it's literally the same thing. It's just that they use different tools and they might have named them differently and all of that, but it's still the same concept of cloud computing. And really the other risk is that because companies are shifting between all these different cloud providers, you might find yourself irrelevant in a particular company, because if your company decides to shift to a certain cloud provider and all of a sudden you got too familiar, you got too attached to Azure or AWS. So please do not get attached to any cloud provider. It's really good for you to be familiar with all of them. And we've seen that sometimes Azure could be crashing and AWS is available, or sometimes maybe AWS could be crashing, but Azure is available. What this means is that companies need to adopt a multi-cloud approach where they're using different cloud providers. And I've seen this in a lot of companies where they're now using different cloud providers to ensure that they run different workloads and all of that. So by you learning more than one cloud provider, you put yourself in a better position. Look, if you're starting out, understand one cloud providers, but don't stay too long on that particular cloud provider. Move on to the next, and you should never be attached to any cloud provider.